So, just to refresh, so we were talking about the stakeholder engagement, and what you said is how the mindset with which we approach is where the success factor lies. So, when we approach with the positive mindset that people are helpful, and also we are there to give them a helping hand, and it's not about us against them, but it is more like a one team, then you start getting that response. So that's a very useful tip to know, because you have navigated quite a lot of agencies in terms of stakeholder relationship. So has there been any example where you came across an example where you actually came across some difficult challenge in terms of getting through the right person? So if there, just share with us some example of some incident like that, how you manage to overcome it with some specific example that will make it easy to understand, especially any challenging moment you might have had.
No, here I would say, it can be serendipity or it can be just like we say, Jakku Vastu is good. But most of the time I have found help coming from various, angles just on its own. Like the first time we wanted to meet the BDA commissioner because we wanted, to get the lake transferred from BDA to BBMP. I was just walking on the lake and this one person was coming from the front, jogging, and then like always, I stop everybody and tell them about this initiative. And I stopped him and said, we have started a citizen initiative. You can be a part of it. And he said, what is your main challenge now? So I said, no, we are okay with most of the things, but we are not able to get the lake transferred from BDA to BBMP. And he said, is that all? No, I'm going to, if that is a thing, you just think that it is done.
Wow.
And immediately next day he arranged for a meeting right in front of the commissioner, made us sit. In 2 minutes, the commissioner called and the papers were moved.
And who was this? Was he a BDA employee?
He was part of some auditing group in the,
wow.
So he was a citizen and a resident of that area,
Amazing. And actually, it is not surprising, because what happens is, because you have such a diverse group of people, and what your action of being willing to go and talk to the people in the lake who are walking in the lake, that itself is you're keeping yourself open to receiving this type of help. And that's a very beautiful lesson to learn, is that when we venture into any community work with a very good intention, and keeping our minds and hearts open, then it is true that the help is always there. It is always there, but if because of our open mindedness, we are always able to receive it also. And also, you're taking initiative of reaching out to someone, not feeling that how do I talk to this person, or so that is something that is the first thing, one of the things most when we are venturing into community work, have to develop that go. If it's not initially, it may not be easy, but you have to develop that view that it's ultimately we are working for this together. So there's okay to reach out to people even if you don't know, and that leads to more things. So that's a very beautiful example.
One instance, but this has happened many times.
Right.
So it has happened so many times that I almost feel it is something to do with the lake. She's guiding us saying that this is what you need to do.
Beautiful.
So you're just going to act on my instructions.
Nice.
So that is how I felt. But maybe whatever said and done, I think there are good connects. Like all our corporate connections are also through the community. All our scientific like today we have A-Tree, Biome, GKVK, NCBS, all these connected through various citizens.
Nice.
And they're all major stakeholders, and they are all supporting us. And it's big kind of a community group today, because everybody is coming with their passion and their own self-interest. Nobody is coming there because and expertise, and everybody does it pro bono, so we don't even have to pay for any intellectual so these are all things that happen when you bring the community together. But like you rightly said, we need to take that first step and converse, because you never know who is.
Exactly.
See, they could be an officer himself. Sometimes these officers also are walking on the lake. You may be meeting an officer. They may be a connect to more people. So you never know how you can get connected.
Correct.
So always be open to asking people what you want, how you want to contribute.
Yes,
So
yes.
whether they want to just, by connecting you, they can contribute by physically coming to the lake. There may be different ways, but
Yes.
each one is valuable, and each citizen has something to give, is what we need
Absolutely.
to realize and work with,
And in fact, as soon as you reach out to the community, you should know that you are reaching out to a wealth of knowledge, wealth of people. It's a resource. So you are never going to fall short, because you actually expand when you reach out for, when you're doing environmental work, community work, you are now opening yourself to receiving to so many more people. So that's a very, very important lesson I think we can take away from what you've just said. The other question I wanted to ask is in terms of, are there any lessons or some insights that you developed because of the journey that you've taken? For example, what what kind of things you had in mind before you started to now, like any new insights, new lessons that stick to in your mind when talking about the journey?
See, one thing, from a very urbanite point of view, what I would like to share is most of the time, we think we know a lot, and we think that whatever, if the intent is good, then anything is okay.
Yeah.
But some of those, my experiences were like, always it's not about the intent. You also have right or wrong, right from planting trees, sometimes, we think we'll plant as much as possible, but is it an exotic species? Is it native? Will it support biodiversity? So it's not only the good intent of wanting to plant, but it's also the knowledge that should accompany, like whatever intent I'm doing it with, is it going to be scientifically supported, and is it because you can always do a big mistake which can probably in the next 20 years look like a big environmental hazard. It should not also become like that, so sometimes we should try and make sure that our intention is supported well with scientific knowledge, and we are doing it right, so this is something we all should understand, because I see a lot of people very passionate about doing things sometimes, but they do it wrong, like plant a tree on a drain, and then the drain sometimes has to be dismantled, and the tree would,
because there's a lot of science that goes into everything, not it's not casual.
Yes. So this is one insight that I got, because for me, see, I come from an educational background, so I'm not from an environmental, so I had to learn from A, from the A of environment and ecology. I had to start learning to understand the lake and understand whether I'm and my entire team of Jal Poshan is in the right direction. We cannot have a wrong direction. So there, we do a lot of learning, and that's where the scientific community helped us. Whenever we have a doubt, I message them, and immediately they will respond and say, you're right, or you're wrong, or this is the way it is. So this entire, scientific social responsibility is another important community contribution, I would say. So when the community comes together and say, I'm there at any point of time, you want a guidance, I'm there, that is, a lot of moral support. Because most of the time we don't know whether we are heading in the right direction. And only these people can guide us, So that is one thing. So always have the scientific fraternity with you.
Yeah, got it.
Internet is not useful, I will tell you. Sometimes you may get wrong advice from the internet. So you cannot depend on Google always. Better to depend on people who have worked on the field, are doing research in those areas, and can come to site and work with you on your problems and resolve it.
Right.
So that is another thing that we learn. And as I said, we always have to remember that conservation is a team effort. We all have to work together, everybody doing their bit. The fisherman has to do his bit. The grass cutters also have a role. The BWSSB has a role. The BBMP has a role. So everybody, elected representative, have their role. Everybody has a role, So we always have to think about working as a team, not like, we work by ourselves or achieve something on our own. That will never happen. So, this is another thing that we realized. And one thing that we realize is, knowledge always enhances by sharing. So always talk to people, talk to your other lake groups. There'll be a lot of people working on the same kind of issues, maybe within Bangalore, outside Bangalore, interact with people, See, every time we have visitors, we share our experiences, they will share their knowledge. So you learn, it's a two-way. It's not about you telling them something. So every time there have been visitors to the lake, I have learned a lot from them. Okay, so every time we know that, there's something more to do, something new, to set in the action agenda. So I think this is very important. All citizens group should, interface with each other. We are very fortunate in Bangalore. We have Friends of Lakes, which is putting all these people together. We have Federation of Lakes, where we have all these people together. So we get a lot of opportunities to interact with other lake groups as well as experts, you know. So in this way, you know, if every city or every state has their own resource groups where people can interact with each other, there's a lot of moral support and knowledge exchange. So whenever we encounter a problem, we know there's a support system, you know. And now A3 also is doing a, you know, dashboard, you know, it's a Bangalore Lake dashboard where they're trying to put a lot of stories and helping, you know, contacts and everything else, which is, I think, a wonderful initiative that is going to help any new group to start without much of, you know, difficulty, you know. So these kind of things really help in any city, you know.
Fantastic. And now that we have kind of talked about the nitty-gritties and all, it will be nice to get a flavor of right now, for example, what are the type, I mean, apart from the COVID times, you know, if you take away the COVID situation, what are the different activities that have come about as a community initiative because of this whole process that you've been through? Examples
so right from the first year, right from the first year, you know, we had, you know, we started many initiatives to bring the community together. So one is what we call as Ramadan. Okay, that's volunteer. That happens every year. It used to happen every Sunday before. Now it is happening every Saturday because mutually people agreed on a Saturday. So every Saturday between 7 in the morning till 9:30, we have lot of volunteers, even from the corporate. You know, we used to get a lot of corporate volunteers. You know, this is non-COVID time I'm speaking about. But every Saturday we would have a group of 20-25 people from the permaculture group, from different groups, gardening groups, coming to the lake and doing their bit, you know, like we used to do mulching, de-weeding, watering, pruning, you know, planting new plants. A lot of these activities happen at the lake. And this has been a very good way of people connecting with the lake because it happens every week. And then we have a program called Jalatarang, which takes care of all the cultural and community activities. Like we organize Rangoli, you know, competitions from the women in the villages, the children from the, you know, community. Then we have every third Sunday with the, you know, association with the art organization called Aham. We organize a music or dance program at the lake, you know. So these are all very popular artists of Bangalore who perform in Chowdhury otherwise. So like Vasu Dikshit and, you know, these kind of instrumentalists, the dancers. So all these people come and perform at the lake, and the community connects to art, and also the artist community, you know, connects with the nature. So it's a very different experience for both the performer and the audience, you know. So this we've been having successfully from past 3 years, you know. So we have more than 30 plus programs that we have organized at the lake, you know, which has been very successful and very, you know, very good for the community also. We also have, you know, program called Nature's Gurukul. Okay, so the Nature's Gurukul was a program started for using the lake as a open learning space, because Gurukul means open learning space, you know? So we have connected with every single you know, school, colleges, universities in and around the lake, and we ask them to participate through competitions or through activities, like we have water testing workshops, or we have sometimes, you know, butterfly watching, tree tagging, or we have you know, bird walks. So through this we bring the, you know, children onto the lake and give them an idea about how the lake is connected with their school education, as well as what they can do for the lake, you know. So it's more like bringing their textbook practically into action, you know. So what they've read there, they can, you know, see here, visualize, and also, you know, experiment. You know, so teachers come, faculty come, they bring their ideas. Like just before the second wave of Corona, we had one school organize, you know, do it yourselves. You know, like these small instruments that children can do to test water, or, you know, make sundial or things like that, so that, you know, there is something connected with lake and children and what they are learning. So this is, you know, experiment we started, but it's working quite good. So like, you know, if you have an engineering college, mechanical engineering students can make a aerator for you, or they can make a cycle to irrigate your plants. So a lot can happen. So there is an excitement about bringing their education to a field, you know, and really doing something for the community. And this has been really a successful program. A little bit of problems because of COVID, but I'm sure after COVID we'll be able to do more programs. And we had a lot of support from a Bangalore Sustainability Forum, which gave us grants to kickstart this program and, make it a success. So in that way, when you have a good intention, you find the right people to support.
Yeah, absolutely.
It works. All organizations are forthcoming. All schools, colleges have, sent volunteers, and students come and really enjoy that few moments that they spent at the lake, which is the goal of that program.
Yeah, so this is good that, apart from your own community being participative, you also reached out to other schools, etc. They can also come and participate and, kind of utilize the nature that is openly available there for their own, for learning purposes as well. So that's good. I think now, because of the time, I will try and open to others to ask any questions. So please feel free to pose your questions or comment on what you have heard so far. It will be nice to know that, you all have been also participating in that way. So any questions or comments that you would like to make?
So I think before we went for a break, I saw a chat question whether we work with other lakes.
Okay.
Yeah, so just to say that, I think I'm not sure who posed that question, but the thought that we are working with this, or our philosophy has been local communities for local lakes.
Right.
So that is why we didn't want to have a very bigger, a macro level approach where we try and do more than one lake. Right. So since this is a community initiative, we are the community that lives around Jakkur Lake. So we have access to Jakkur Lake. We can go there 24/7 anytime if there's a problem. We are not very far away from the lake. So that is the idea. So we are working only with Jakkur Lake, but we are helping other people start community initiatives.
Very nice.
So if anybody wants to start a citizen group and adopt their lake, we will get them from A to Z with whatever knowledge and experience we have.
Okay.
Sharing our documents or sharing resources, contact numbers, all that we can do. But only for that reason, we don't do any other lake. Because that can make it more. And every lake is unique. The utility of a lake is different. Some lake may be recreation based, some for drinking water, some can be for, irrigation purposes. So you may have lakes having different utilities. So one model won't work for all lakes. That is why it's better the community comes together and decides what do we want for our lake, depending on the utility of the lake. Then it makes it more, kind of customized, and also there is a more involvement of the community in the lake. Whereas somebody else comes and does it, I don't think there'll be that kind of, interaction and involvement. Correct. So anytime anybody wants our support, we'll be very happy to help anybody from anywhere in India, and today in the world also, because we can always have an online session. So we will be very happy to share our information, but we won't take up any other lake. That is the thought that we are working with.
Thank you. And I think we will be able to share Dr. Annapurna's details once you can write to us, or you can put your contact detail on the chat, so that they can take that information. So your email address can be posted there. Thank you so much for offering that help. Any question anyone else wanted to ask, or any comment from what you heard? Is it inspiring enough for you to start something in your area? Do you all have any lakes or anything in your area? Please talk about that, so we can have a little bit of a
Hello, good evening. I'm Prabha.
Hi, Prabha.
I stay near Rachanhalli Lake. And I don't know, I joined the meeting a little late, so I'm not sure if you've already discussed this point.
No, please ask. Please start.
Yeah. So I wanted to know, there are a lot of stormwater drains which come and go in the lake. I thought to initiate that first, make the lake cleaner. The first thing is to stop the stormwater drains, which also has sometimes, I think, untreated septic, your sewage water getting into. So
yes.
I don't know if there's any initiative, because I joined this group recently. I shifted to this area recently. So I was just wondering if there's any group which is working on that, or we collectively can do something about it.
Okay. What was the name of the lake? What was the name of the lake?
Rachanhalli Lake.
Rachanhalli.
It's before
right.
Before Jakkur Lake.
Yeah, so Prabha, actually, when we speak about the lake conservation, there are two aspects. One is the micro aspect where the citizen group works with their lake. That is more of the lake that they are concerned with. But when we speak about conservation, we cannot restrict ourselves to one lake. So the next thing that we need to do is take the entire lake chain. So Jakkur falls in the Yellamallappa Chetty series, and we have a lot of lakes there, more than 20 plus lakes in that series. So we have upstream lakes, downstream lakes, side stream lakes. So Rachinelli is our downstream lake. Okay, so how we work is, we are working with Jakkur for sure, but we are also working with all other citizen groups to make sure that our stormwater drains are bringing only clean water. So stormwater drains are connectors. They are like our nerves in our body. So if you cut the stormwater drain, you're cutting circulation of water and the chain will die. So we cannot cut the stormwater drain from the lake, but we can make sure that sewage is not entering the stormwater drain. So that is exactly what we do. We are working with BBMP Stormwater Drains Department. We work with BWSSB to ensure that no sewage enters the stormwater drains and stormwater drains bring clean water to the lakes. So this is a more macro level work because it is a little outside your boundary. So there's a lot more work that needs to be done, but work has begun in that direction. Conversations and dialogues are happening and people are coming with better stormwater drain designs where we can filter the water, collect trash in the stormwater drain itself, not allow the trash to enter the lake, control hyacinth, algae. All this is happening, but I think that will take a little more time because it needs a little more funds and effort also. But work in that direction is in progress, I would say.
Right.
But yes, Prabha, we will have to join hands together and all of us lake teams have to work together for our chain. If we want to conserve, we want to conserve it as a whole. We cannot conserve it as parts. So we all have to work together and make sure that we conserve our lakes along with the lake chain also.
So maybe because Prabha said that she's come newly to that area, it may be useful for her to know what are the local lake group in that area. And then also when you talk about the chain of lakes, is there a separate group that works on the matter of macro level matter that, if someone has an issue, wants to raise an issue, they can actually go to that forum to mention about it. So they also learn that there is someone is already looking into that problem.
See, actually, when you speak about lakes and citizen groups, we don't have any groups specifically for stormwater drains. So normally, because the stormwater drains are all your entry points and exit points. So when we speak about our lake, we are concerned about our entry point and we are concerned about our exit point because, it's not about conserving my lake. It's about conserving any lake. So I don't want to spend anything to rationally to spoil that lake. So that also I will ensure that my outlets are clean and outlets are also only taking clean water and my inlets are also getting only, so the stormwater drain department from BBMP is majorly responsible, but all citizen groups, which work with all these individual lakes, we all have, that's why the Forum of Federation of Lakes and Friends of Lakes is there, where we work as different groups coming together and deciding on one single agenda for these macro level.
That's the group, Prabha, that you may need to get connected with. So that's what I'm hearing. So, does that help you? Does that answer your question? That
Yes. The thing which was coming to my mind is there are a lot of apartments in and around Rachinelli Lake. And this is I'm not sure if I'm right about it 100%.
Yeah.
But most of the sewage treatment plants do not work to 100% efficiency.
Yes.
So without checking the water or having regular checks, if we let out the water, the storm water, though they may not contain any plastics or any debris as such, but the water itself is so polluted that it hits the fish and other whatever organism in the water body itself. So that was my concern. Is there any way, like all the apartments here, can we have some kind of a check in some form as a citizens group? That at random you can check the water and maybe speak to the societies and the RWAs. And
because I understand that these are they are answerable to the Pollution Control Board because the KPACB does random checks on the quality of the effluent. So that awareness can be brought about to the associations so that they are not caught. Sometimes they have to pay heavy fines if they are not maintaining their treatment plants. So this is something you can bring to their attention. And I think that's also one of the things that the Federation of Lake and Friends of Lake type of group, they are able to guide you with these type of information, which you can take and make awareness, so to speak.
Okay.
Yeah, but
So
that's
Prabha, actually, are you part of Jalmitra? There's a group for Achinalli Jalmitra. Are you part of that?
Yeah, I got this link. I joined. It was posted, so I joined.
So how we work is, like the citizen groups, what we do is we are working very closely with A3. So A3 does water testing along with KSPCB. So we know about different problems that arise because of any sewage, entering the lake. So whenever we see this, we try and do a Reiki and see if sewage is entering from any apartment, or where is the source of that sewage. Sometimes it could be also these honeysuckers come and dump in the stormwater drain. It could also be that. We never know. So we need to find the source and then track and see how we can solve those issues. So like now in Jakkur, whichever apartment has come up, nobody is dumping their sewage into the lake. That has been taken care. If you observe anybody doing that, we complain to KSPCB and they will take action. So this is what citizen groups can do. They can always keep a vigilant watch and complain if you think that some violation is being done. So that can be done, Prabha, by the citizen group or whoever observes that there is a deviation.
So how do I go about this complaint? I have to give an
a KSPCB email ID. You have to take the KSPCB email ID and post a complaint in their complaint email ID, and they will take action. And then you can also follow it up by a call or something to the concerned person. Their numbers will be listed in the KSPCB website.
But instead of complaining, can we ask them for help? Is there any way that we ask them for help? They come visit us, tell us what has to be done.
You can do that. You'll have a local case. You will have a local pollution control board in Yelahanka. So you can request those officers also to come. See, the first, like how we have tackled is, the first thing that we do is we normally converse with the apartments itself, the apartment association or the builder. Okay. So if it is under construction, we converse with the builders or the engineers or the contractors there. If it is already constructed and in the, hand over to association, we discuss with the association and we make them understand why that water cannot be released, or how they can see if it is treated and if it is excess water, then whether it can be used for irrigation or something like that without letting it into the lake. So these are conversations that we can have with the builders and the associations to start with. If they are not supporting, if they are very they resist your request and then they're just not allowing you to kind of talk sense to them, that is when you can take help of KSPCB, log a, complaint and then take a legal action. Otherwise, most of the time, lot of problems can be solved by conversations itself. Sometimes lack of awareness, nothing much more than that. Right? So you can also do that.
So you can continue, please, Prabha. You may continue to ask because she has Dr. Annapurna has put the email address. So if I can request you to take that further discussion outside, because because she knows quite a lot of specific things you can get guided from. Because we want to keep moving with the conversation with others also asking any questions.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
No problem, Prabha. So anyone else who wants to say anything, any comment or any question? Just remember you are all on mute. So if you are speaking, please unmute before you speak. So some comments I was reading. Let me see if anything is. So there is someone, Selva is, they offer some stormwater treatment technology, that's fine. So we can, and also there's another green water solution person. They have some green technology that they can input in the lakes, etc. So you may, share your details. So if Prabha or someone wants to use it, they can take, but that's all we can do for now. Okay, no other question or comment? Any comment anybody wants to make? All right, so thank you so much, Dr. Annapurna. It's been a very enlightening conversation. I'm hoping that, of course, we are going to make the recording available. So as I said, we would like it to be an example of people, taking inspiration, taking courage from your example to start, because at Jal Smriti Foundation that we are, we believe that we are able to make the change within the water that is within our own area of influence and control. And it's just that the catch is that we have to do our bit. Everyone has to play our own part. And if all of us initiated, because that one person initiating is all it takes, then you can invite others into that, because everyone is looking to contribute. And if you can take a lead, then it helps. So with that, on that note, and that message that please consider taking a lead, doing your own bit, and you will start seeing the change that you want to see around you by being the change. So thank you so much. I appreciate it. And also thank you to Prabha and others who have been participating. Okay. So with that, we will log out. Thank you. Namaste. All right.
Thank you so much.
We'll meet next Saturday with a different topic and a different guest. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so
Bye-bye.
much. Bye, ma'am.
Bye.
Bye.